Welcome back, guys, to another forecast where today we're going to be talking about some possible snow over the next couple days. So, this is kind of what to expect for snowfall totals. This is what the National Weather Service is depicting here. You're going to see here the southern Minnesota. It's not as much as what we saw the last two snowstorms, but definitely quite a long range here. It's 1 to 3 inches in Marshall possible, 1 to 4 in Mankato, and really, I mean, the Twin Cities could see up to 2 inches possible, but most of it is down to our south. And the interesting thing is this is for tomorrow. If we look at the GFS here, you're gonna see here this is today around 7 a.m. We'll talk about temperatures too, but we'll talk first about snowfall here. And you're going to see here, this clipper system will pass through. This is kind of what we're looking into tomorrow. So this is around 3 p.m. So throughout, I think the day tomorrow, it will probably be like light flurries to light snow for the most of the region here. Um, that's kind of like what we're looking at. And then another low pressure center. This will be interesting here. I don't think, I mean, this might be also depicting what could happen here, because if we go fast forward it a little bit here, this is around Sunday morning. So this is actually for both Friday and Sunday morning here and throughout the Sunday afternoon. So really the next couple days here, if we go to possible snowfall totals here, we're actually going to go to North Central and go to 24 hours snowfall. Should be loading pretty soon. Um, Sometimes it's a little slow, but there we go. Okay, so this is our 24-hour snowfall. So this is what to kind of expect for the next couple of days. There we go. It's fully loaded now. So you can see this snow band. It's gonna increase here, and really this is what they're showing for possibly this Friday is up to, a band of an inch or two possible throughout central Minnesota. Now, this isn't much of a concern at the moment. You can see, yeah, it's just going to be possibly a narrow band. We can't pull up the HH or the HRRR2, but then that will disappear. And then this is what we're kind of looking at, because if this shifts north, we could see quite a few impacts for the southwestern part of Minnesota here. But right now, it's mostly focused over Nebraska and Iowa and just like areas like Redwood Falls and stuff. I mean, we could see like areas like St. Cloud, Twin Cities, along the Mississippi um, River here. We could see 1 to 2 inches. So definitely something to look out for, and that's really, I think, what we're looking at. And then yeah, maybe some flurries on Tuesday here. I don't know why I did that. And then another band of snow possible on Wednesday. We are inside a week, so this could definitely be likely. Just the track of it is undetermined at the moment. So we could do that. HRR, let's look at what it's forecasting. So this is the model run from this morning here. This will kind of show us total snowfall. We could go through total snowfall. Won't hurt to do that. You're just going to see those snowfalls start to add up here, and you're just going to see that narrow band of snow actually is a little farther north, and this one actually shows it quite a bit here. You can see here, this one's a little farther north than GFS model, and usually the HRRR, I mean, we're only 24 hours out, and this is what's showing here. 3 to 4 inches possible, narrow band. Of course, this is what you often see with clipper systems, and this is definitely a possibility here where we could see 4 inches up here near like just north of St. Cloud, and then Twin Cities only see like 1, maybe 2 inches. So definitely a narrow band. Of course, the track, I'll maybe make another video on this tomorrow morning. Since we are looking at snow totals up to 4 inches, which is considered plowable snow. Definitely something to look into. And then of course Monday or Sunday into Monday next week, definitely something to look into. And then now Wednesday. So because of these cold temperatures, which we'll now talk about here, the wind chill was actually quite cold this morning. If you went outside, I definitely had to put on my heavy jacket, or I mean, that's been the trend throughout this entire week here. We're actually going to see this is going to be the coldest day of the week, and then all that cold air will move out of the area, kind of. It will get a little warmer, and by warmer I mean it will get down to the single digit negatives instead of the double digits. This morning we saw wind chills around like -20, maybe in isolated locations we saw it down to -30, which is pretty dangerous, but for, because it's not January or February yet, the averages or the temperature averages are quite high this time of year compared to January or February. So if this were to take place in January or February, we would see temperatures well probably -30, -40 degrees, which would have definitely canceled school if found on the elbow here. Now this is Friday here, so wind chills in the -10s or the -teens, maybe single digits over in like north western Minnesota, and then Wisconsin could see single digits here. And then look at this cold air move in again here. There's another cool down here. This will probably, I mean, -20s is possible, and that's as far as the forecast goes here. But you can just see that another brush of air possible moving in into Saturday. We could definitely look into the GFS model, show kind of what it's showing right now here. So this is kind of what to expect. The cold air, or the colder air, not the cold air, the colder air moves out of the region tonight, and then even colder air moves in tomorrow, maybe -teens. And then Sunday could get cold. This is actually pretty interesting here. Sunday, this is when that snow event's supposed to happen. And we were actually talking about this quite earlier, I think, in the week, or maybe even last week, where with temperatures um, this cold here, this is not temperature, but wind chills with temperatures probably -5, -10 degrees. I mean, this could definitely increase snow ratios, which as a result, you can get more out of a system because the snow ratios could be, 20 to 1 instead of like 6 to 1, what we saw in our first event. So definitely something to pay attention to. And really just very cold temperatures. I would definitely pay attention on Monday here, especially if you're in Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, as temperatures could be around that range where, -35 could be possible. Still a little far out, but that's definitely a possibility here. Wind chills would start to increase and then another cold blast. I mean, this is looking like a very cold start to the year or cold start to the month. Just look at that. That's just this cold air just moves in here. Maybe we could see the 20s, which is crazy to think about. We could see the 20 wind chills in the 20s here. Um, that last thing I wanted to show you guys is the chance of snow accumulations more than 4 inches. This is on Monday or Sunday, and you can see here most of northern Iowa and southern Minnesota in that 10% chance. Definitely a little conservative, but the forecast, I don't think a lot of forecast or models were showing that higher end snowfall that the HRRR or the GFS was showing. But that's kind of what to expect if we go to precipitation rates. I just want to show that just to show kind of the level of confidence for forecasters have right now. If we move through here, so you can see that low pressure center or the Clipper system, oh my goodness, move in here. That will be around, Friday morning into until it finally moves out around Friday evening for western Wisconsin here. And then another low pressure center. This will be a little more interesting to watch, as well as the one Friday. I'll definitely probably make a video tomorrow. If that snow event hasn't started already, it looks like it might do. But I'll probably still make a video on this. This is more of a heavier snow band, and this will be where temperatures could be quite cold. So definitely some higher snow ratios possible. This is on Sunday, so we're I think around like 3-4 days out. And then another, where's that other? And then this one could bring some snow on Monday. I think there's another one right behind it. This one is also one to watch out for. So definitely some interesting weather coming our way. Cold temperatures just forecasted for at least the first half of the week. We can actually look at outlooks here. And where was it? There we go. MPX. I have so many bookmarks. Oh my goodness. I'll clean it up a little bit. Here we go. So colder than average temperatures expected for until around not Thanksgiving, gosh, Christmas there. And then, above average, they're leaning towards, above average precipitation. I think this active pattern will definitely continue throughout the first half of the month. And then it will start to, confidence definitely decreases here. But those below average temperatures will definitely continue. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the forecast. I definitely did enjoy doing it. I love doing these forecasts just to keep you guys up to date. It's kind of a different thing because usually I post like a paragraph on my Instagram or Snapchat story or Facebook explaining like what's going to happen. I feel like these you can definitely hear more of my side of the story, like what I think, instead of me just being restricted on how long I can write a forecast. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you would like to see more of these and like the video. So, or like the video if you enjoyed it. So have a good day and be safe.